Welcome back to LimQ Plus, everyone. On this channel, I'm 100%ing Breath of the Wild by a bit every day until the sequel comes out, which is today in 129 days. That's when we get Tears of the Kingdom. Today is January 2nd. It's my birthday, but I'm not doing anything special at all. Also, while recording this particular episode, I'm probably going to go around in the world and get some food items. I need to stock up on some food, so that's a good thing to do while I will be talking about my predictions for the first Nintendo Direct in 2023. This is pretty much the event I'm most looking forward to. Yeah, it's not my birthday. I honestly, I mean, you know, you grow up, you get older, so birthdays become kind of whatever. But the event that I'm most looking forward to in the first quarter of this year is the first Nintendo Direct. And that's when I'm assuming it's gonna happen. In the past, there has very frequently been a January Direct, so it was very common for a Direct to take place in January, which could happen again. If not, a lot of them happened in February. I actually have a decent feeling that we might get one in January towards the end. I will explain why. And technically it could even be in March. That's also true. It could technically be in April, which I'm really... First of all, I'm not hoping, but second of all, I really don't think that's gonna happen. But I would say, relatively safely, within the first third of the year, we'll get a Nintendo Direct with some games coming out in 2023, because right now we don't know much at all. We know that Tears of the Kingdom is coming out in May. From what we know right now, it's looking pretty good about that. We know that potentially a Pikmin game is coming out. Pikmin 4 is something that is looking to be more and more real these days. And that's pretty much it for big releases. Now, I think we're gonna get a Direct at the end of January this year, because I think Fire Emblem Engage is coming out on like January 20th or something, like the end of January, and that's the one release that Nintendo has lined up right now that they probably just want to wait and get out there before they broadcast the next Direct and get people more excited for potential other games to buy, which I think is always a smart idea. Business-wise, it's unfortunate for us as consumers, but it makes sense, in my opinion, to be like, yeah, you know, buy Fire Emblem Engage. There's no other games right now, so you could try it. Sure, why not, is what the consumer is thinking. And then Direct drops afterwards where they announce games that the consumer that wasn't sure what game they were going to play would have maybe liked to buy instead. From a business perspective, I can see that. So I'm expecting we'll get Fire Emblem Engage, which I've actually pre-ordered because I really enjoyed Three Houses. I'm not expecting Engage to be as good. I'm not a huge Fire Emblem fan when it comes to the history of the franchise. I don't know many of the old characters. I liked playing Marth in Melee because he sounded cool and he had a sword. But that's pretty much it when it comes to old Fire Emblem games. But I really like Three Houses, and I hope they can continue the trend of games being as pleasant. Now, again, the expectations are kind of low though. That being said, I think we get a Direct in January. I think the reason we had Directs in the previous years in February instead, later with a little bit of delay, was because the pandemic was still in full swing. And don't get me wrong, right now, people are still... the pandemic is still going on. There are spikes everywhere across the globe. I don't know how the situation is in Japan right now. I don't know how people are affected. I don't know if people return to the office. I don't know if people are still working from home or if they're used to it. You never know. And there's absolutely no guarantee. Yes, I'm not like a supposed insider or a predictor being like, yes, the Direct will be in January. But I can actually kind of see it this year. I can see it at the end of January. Now, I think in terms of like a big trailer for Tears of the Kingdom, it would actually make sense if the Direct was a little bit later, more in like March, because I'm assuming the next Tears of the Kingdom trailer will be the big one, which is, and I'm going to start with predictions. What is this Direct going to have? I'm assuming it's going to be January, but if it is, then I feel like the Tears of the Kingdom trailer might get less exciting than I want to. What I'm talking about is in 2027, so yeah, that's, what now, 4 years, oh god. In 2017, in January, they dropped the big Breath of the Wild story trailer, where we first saw all of the environments in the game. I don't know what just died there. I think a bug flew like into the thorns, but that sounded weird. We saw the big trailer, the big one, where we heard the voice acting, we met the characters for the first time, we saw the villagers. Dude, can you imagine, as a Tears of the Kingdom enjoyer and anticipator like me, finally seeing stuff? Like, we've been teased for so long, but getting this teaser where we finally see new villages, new weapons, new enemies, like, and maybe like, can you even imagine it? I doubt you could even imagine it. Because I can't, and it's gonna be super hype, which is why I'm looking very much forward to it. That being said, I don't think Tears of the Kingdom is the only thing they would be focusing on in that direct. I think we have some other things to talk about. First of all, Pikmin. Now, let me be real with you. I have never played a Pikmin game. I know a bunch of people are very into the franchise, and I am definitely down to give it a try if they make a new game. Especially because I think it's pretty much revolving around puzzles and stuff, which I'm usually fond of. But I'm gonna have to try it myself. It would make sense if we hear anything more about that game, maybe get a rough release window. It would be weird if they didn't say anything about it in the first direct, giving us kind of like an outlook of the year. Because usually the next direct is at E3, which I have no idea if E3 is even happening anymore. I'm pretty sure it's like cancelled or something. So I guess the Summer Games Fest or whatever. So I think we'll hear something about that game. Then we have Metroid Prime 4 in the room, the elephant in the room. I personally don't think we're going to hear anything about that game. If this game actually comes out this year, which I'm not expecting, to be honest, I feel like that's going to be their big game for next year. Maybe it's even going to be on the next system, which, by the way, I don't think we're gonna hear anything about with what wait, my English, it literally just left my soul. With what we've recently learned, I don't think we'll see anything about a new Switch/Nintendo hardware system. Because I don't think the timing's right. I think we'll get a direct later. Maybe the E3 equivalent of Nintendo Direct is gonna start teasing that new hardware for the holiday season. It would make sense to me. 2023 holiday season. Maybe there's a Switch Pro, a Switch 2, who knows? But I don't think the Direct is gonna have that. What the Direct will have... No, I can't even say that. I can't even say it will have. But it really is about... like, okay, there's no way, possibly, right, that we get a Tears of the Kingdom and Silksong trailer in one Direct. I mean, that would be insane, but with what... And I don't even know if this is still true. The last rumors about Hollow Knight Silksong where during the Xbox like Game Pass showcase, basically confirming that the game would release sometime before August this year, which means it's about time that we get a release date, a real one. I know, at least I think, there used to be this time where people would always expect Nintendo to be the one bringing us Silksong news, where at this point it could literally be anyone, so I don't know, but it would be incredibly cool if that was the place where we hear about it. That's definitely a game that's due, so just kind of like talking about it real quick, not a real prediction. Metroid Prime, by the way, again, I don't think that's gonna be this year. I really, even if it could be, I guess they do need a game for the holidays. Maybe Metroid Prime 4 plus new Switch for the holidays, because I doubt and I hope there's not going to be another rushed Pokemon game instead to keep the people quiet. With Tears of the King coming out in May, Fire Emblem already coming out. I mean, I guess the only other thing they could do is like a Mario game. Obviously, that could be a big one. A Mario game for the holidays. I didn't even talk about this yet. I didn't even dare to think about the fact that they might announce a Mario game for, hopefully it's not Mario the movie, the game, unless it's a good Mario the movie, the game, but I really don't want that personally. That's just me. If you don't know, I used to speedrun Super Mario Odyssey a lot. Let me see, does it still track my hours? I mean, 785 hours, you know, that's a pretty good amount, you know. I used to play that game. I kind of know how to go fast in it. But yeah, I would love to get new 3D Mario announcements. I guess you could always bust out the Mario Kart 9 reveal, which wouldn't really make sense timing-wise because they just released DLC. That's probably also something for 2024. And the potential new system, very much so. Looks like the Switch is just not going to have an exclusive Mario Kart, which is sad, but I doubt that's going to happen at this point. Unless there really is only just the Switch Pro, which I really don't think so. I don't think so. If the Switch Pro isn't coming out at the beginning of this year, it doesn't make sense to me. Because, like, at that point, if a Switch Pro exists and they're trying to make games for the Switch and the Switch Pro, that's the disaster. I think that would end in a disaster. Just make your own system for it and actually, like, make the games for that better system so that we can get better performance. But anyway, that might just be my opinion. Maybe you guys disagree. I don't think we'll get any hardware news anyway. And we talked about Metroid Prime. And the last thing that I want to talk about, which is just kind of like a random, potentially freebie prediction, and it's about time for that. It's probably pretty underwhelming for most of you, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be, this is my one prediction for the bingo card, when the direct actually does roll around, which, by the way, when the direct rolls around, I'm obviously gonna be talking on this channel about a real prediction, like bingo card. I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna be watching it on stream. But anyway, I think there's going to be a trailer for Genshin Impact finally releasing on the Nintendo Switch. Wow, I'm sure you guys are all excited for that. But the reason I'm saying this is a freebie is because that's something that's been known for a while. I think Hoyoverse, the developer of Genshin Impact, had recently confirmed that that is still something that's in the works. So it has a release like at one point. I feel like this could be again, like maybe I really... Dude, I hate that Nintendo is always so silent. Because maybe that taking so long was also something internally about Nintendo being like, yo, we're making the Switch Pro. Oh, no, we're not making the Switch Pro. I feel like that entire thing could have actually caused so many issues behind the scenes that we'll never know about. But fact is, we'll never know about it. So I guess it doesn't really make sense to discuss it. My main thing that I'm basically sure we're gonna get is the next Nintendo Direct. We're getting a Tears of the Kingdom trailer. And I'm so freaking... excited. Apparently you have to be really careful what you say on YouTube now. I think it's only in the first 8 seconds, I've heard recently. So I'm freaking excited. I'm freaking excited for that trailer. It's gonna be a game changer. And if the direct rolls around and you want to see me react to it, or if you want to join a bunch of huge Zelda nerds and fans all freaking out, it's gonna be on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/LinkCube, which I'm going live on right after I upload this video. Even though it's my birthday, yes, I have nothing else to do. So I might as well speedrun my favorite video game. Wow. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about my most anticipated event of the early year and kind of make some predictions, because that's what I felt like doing today, and this is what this channel is all about. Tears of the Kingdom releases in 129 days. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow.